Now, for a look at what's making news in print and online this morning, we're joined now from Canberra by the Executive Director at the Australia Institute, Richard Dennis. Richard, very good morning to you. Let's kick off with the Australian. Like many papers, like many outlets this morning, it's focusing on the China-Taiwan tensions.
Oh, that's right. I mean, a lot of the papers around are talking about China, saying that we should use our imagination about what it means when it comes to what it will do in relationship to Taiwan. But to some extent, perhaps for an Australian audience, they've buried the lead with them making it quite clear that they're keen to reset their relationship with the Australian government.
OK, so that was something that came out of the speech yesterday. But, gee, for all intents and purposes, there's a lot of resetting needed. There was that brief, I guess, honeymoon when Labor was elected, Richard, with Richard Marles meeting his counterpart and other overtures. But they seem to be pretty much back to square one in terms of a pretty bad relationship.
Look, there's no doubt there's a lot of tension in the world at the moment, including between the Australian and Chinese governments. But yes, it's true. While the Foreign Minister and the Defence Ministers met soon after the election, there hasn't been a lot since then. But again, the Ambassador held out the idea of a possible meeting between the Chinese President and the Australian Prime Minister at a G20 talk. So yes, I think there's a long way to go on that relationship, and certainly Taiwan is going to be a major sticking point. But no surprises that the Chinese have continued to assert that it's an internal matter, it's a province of theirs, and no surprises that Australia and other governments are calling on them to try and resolve these things peacefully.
Richard, the Canberra Times has a piece today about one company claiming that our global warming target is unattainable.
Yeah, quite remarkable, really. We've got the proponent of one of the gas projects in the Beetaloo Basin, one of the world's largest new gas projects. This is a company who on its website says it wants to play a central role in achieving net zero, and it's saying that we shouldn't mention the 1.5 degree target in Labor's new climate bill because it's unachievable. So I think it's quite remarkable that we would have someone who wants to propose a new gas project saying we have no chance of meeting 1.5 degrees. I'm not quite sure what the strategy was there.
OK, let's finish up with the Herald Sun. It has business owners, retailers and the like in Melbourne CBD urging the government to do more to bring workers back to the CBD.
Look, it's interesting. I mean, for those people that own cafes in the CBD or more likely own commercial property in the CBD, that's a real problem. But at the same time, of course, cafes in the suburbs are booming. There's a lot of people saving a lot of money on a commute. And of course, there's people spending more time with their families as well. So COVID has certainly changed the way people worked. And when we change things, the economy has to change. And parts of the economy grow, parts shrink. No surprise that the owners of commercial property want everyone to commute into the city every morning, but no surprise that a lot of people have found another way to get their job done.
Well said. Yeah, completely different environment as we move out of this pandemic and the way people work. Hey, Richard, thank you.
Thank you.